Hi everyone. I would like to introduce our new feature in 1.8.0 Harvest. Right now, we support assigning a CPU model from our Harvest dashboard. But before diving into this feature, I would like to explain why we add this feature and why we need a live migration. So let's start from the first one. There are two situations that we will need live migration. In a multiple nodes cluster, in Harvest, there are two nodes here. When we perform an upgrade, we will upgrade our operation system per node to make sure the operation system is upgraded. But before performing the operation system upgrading, we hope all virtual machines, like in Harvest 1, will still work well with zero downtime. So this is very important, and that's why we need to live migrate all. For example, that's very important. We need to live migrate all virtual machines in Harvest 1 to 22. Then we can perform the operation system upgrade. And the second one is maybe sometime you might have some node issues like in Harvest 1, and you need to reboot Harvest 1 to fix something. And also you hope your virtual machine still works well with zero downtime. And then you can perform a live migration to live migrate your virtual machine from Harvest 1 to Harvest 22. And that's why we need live migration in a general situations. And what happens if we use default CPU model? Let me show you an example. The Ubuntu 20 test was live migrated from Harvest 22 to Harvest 1. Let me show you some node selector. So this is in Harvest 22, and this VN is live migrated to the Harvest 1. So let me show you. Oh, wait a second. So you can see a CPU model is not assigned, so it's a default. The default is host model. But if you don't assign any string here, the model will be host model. So it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. So you can see in the original part, the node selector looks like this one. There are not very much node selectors here. And when you live migrate this virtual machine, the node selector will look very different with a default CPU model setting. Yeah, so these labels are added by keyword. And if you use a default CPU model, they might have some issues. Like, for example, we had issues before when upgrade from 1.5 to 1.6. Because when performing while performing upgrade, keyword add some unexpected label during the upgrade, and those label will removed after the upgrade. So the situation was kind of weird, and that's the reason why the upgrade failed during live migration. So Yeah, and what happens if we assign a CPU model? Let me show you. And this is a new feature, Ubuntu 20 test, maybe 20 test 2. And you can find the advanced options here, and the CPU model is this one. We have we have many CPU model you can select, and for example, the default is a host model. So basically, these are sensing. And right now, let's use Ivy Bridge as an example. When we select this CPU model and create it, just wait for a few seconds. And also, you can find this knowledge base setting up a common CPU model for virtual machine migration. There's a section about how to choosing a CPU model for live migration. So I think you can take a look about this one. Take a look at this one. Okay, our VM is up. So let me show you the setting. So you can see the model is Ivy Bridge. And let's try to live migrate it to Harvest 1. So this is an old one, this is a new one. So let me show you the old one. So you can see there's a node selector is about Ivy Bridge. And what happened after the migration? This is after live migration. So you can see the node selector looks very similar. Basically, it is not changed. And that's a power of assigning a CPU model. This one can avoid Kubernetes from adding a lot of labels to your pod. And let me show you again. So this one, node selector. And this one. Oh. And this is today's live migration. This is today's CPU model feature. Also, we also support Terraform, so you can check our Terraform documentation about using it. But it's very straightforward. It's just a CPU model, and you just need to assign a string for it. And about a guest cluster will be supported in next venture version. So this is today's sharing about this highlight feature. Thank you.